Welcome to EMT Talks, a web series that takes you inside the world's leading entertainment, media, and technology companies. With each episode, we'll introduce you to key players and pose pertinent questions about the future direction of the industries. My name is John Vermeer, an MBA student at New York University's Stern School of Business. I'll be your host. Our question today is simple. As more and more television content is consumed online, cable subscriptions are flat for the first time in the history of the industry, and piracy remains a constant threat. Is TV dying? To answer this question, we begin in Midtown Manhattan with a cable channel that continues to push boundaries with their offbeat original programming, IFC.
Is TV dying? TV depends on your definition of television. So the definition of television that I grew up with, which is this big hearth that everyone sat around simultaneously and shared thoughts and experiences and had a common experience or understanding, that's dead. That's never coming back. All the choice and all the control that has gone to the consumer has turned it into a completely different asymmetrical experience. If television is no longer a box, prime time is no longer really a time. It's more of a description of the type of programming you have. It's a value proposition more than anything else. And so the idea of prime time being 8 to 11 is gone. Prime time is now whenever the consumer wants to watch. Sure. And so the effect has been to give complete control over networking, over a network's programming to a consumer. So a network is no longer necessarily something that's on channel 52. It's now whatever you want it to be. If there's an unending appetite amongst the consumer for television, there's an even larger appetite amongst corporations and new businesses for buying content. So Google creates 100 channels with $100 million. Amazon enters the subscription business with Prime. Hulu enters the subscription business with Plus. Netflix is in this business. Sony and others are getting into new opportunities for streaming over the internet. And when TV everywhere becomes the norm, and TV everywhere is the authentication of content using your cable subscription on any device in the home, but eventually it'll become outside the home as well. As that happens, there's going to be so much more revenue driven into the television programming business that you're going to see more television made, if you can imagine that, and probably much even bolder choices that are being made today. Because at that point, mass as a television idea will become less and less important. You'll still have the Super Bowl, you'll still have things like debates, you'll still have things like American Idol, but those will be the exceptions. The rule will be very targeted programming for smaller, more targeted audiences. And as a result, I think you're gonna have a much more satisfied consumer base. Sure. And a much more vibrant programming community. I think the best work in television history is being done right now, and I would argue that the best, most creative, boldest art making that's being done on Earth is being done in cable television right now, and that's because there's more support. There are more resources there than there is in any other industry.
We're working on this whole premise that TV, traditional TV, and watching it linearly via a television box is dying. Would you agree or disagree with that, and why?
I would agree because it's cheaper to watch it on the internet if you can.
When I watch television on the internet, I feel like it's the same thing. It's television, it's just on the internet.
I would say for like news and stuff like that, it's not dying, but for TV shows and stuff, when you have like Netflix and Hulu, probably.
Let's add another layer to this conversation. We stopped by the NYU Stern School of Business to speak with the Executive Director of the Entertainment, Media, and Technology Program, Professor Al Lieberman.
Hey, John, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Come on in.
Great, thank you.
Television is clearly alive, and we have a couple of multiple C's. Every professor has to have an infrastructure. So we talk about content, we talk about convergence, we talk about consumption, but the most important C is convenience. And people today do not want to wait until they get home from work. They have an opportunity to watch television, certainly on the iPad, for years on the iPod, nano, smartphones, any kind of screen that can show you full color. And as a matter of fact, at a recent show called the Consumer Electronics Show, we were watching 3D television on a smartphone. You know, we now see certain amazing technologies, TV on a wristwatch. Well, is that going to be a mass consumption product? Probably not. I think that we're waiting for iPad 3. I just got my iPad 2, and so I'm already in the obsolescence stage. But they're going to do something extra that's special. How about a fold-up screen? Yeah, they have something right now, which is a plastic that you can roll up, you can put in your pocket of your briefcase, unroll it, and then watch television. So I think we have a lot to look forward to. I would just say that the students of today and tomorrow certainly need to have this kind of understanding and an ability to look at the future and not be frightened.
So is TV dying? Well, according to today's guests, TV as a box may be dead, but television as a medium is just coming into its prime. If you like what you saw today, comment below and be sure to come back for future episodes of EMT Talks. I'm John Vermeer. Thanks for watching.
Just cut me, guys. Just cut me.